Maine is under investigation by the Trump administration again over its policies involving transgender students. Trump's Secretary of Education touching on the latest investigation, posting this morning on X.
We have heard disturbing reports that dozens of Maine school districts allow for schools to create gender plans that support a student's transgender identity and then hide those plans from parents, claiming they don't fall under education records. That is unacceptable and unlawful, if true.
And the DOE argues that Maine school districts are violating the Family Educational Privacy Rights Act. That act gives parents and guardians the right to access their children's education records. However, advocates say in some cases, school is the only place where children can go by a different name or a different pronoun.
We like to think that most parents are going to be supportive of this, but we also know some are not. We also know when we support young people, they're going to do better in school. They're going to thrive when they feel supported. And we also know when young people get to be themselves younger in terms of their transitions, it really does pave the way for a more successful adult life.
And we did reach out to the Maine Attorney General's office on this newest investigation. They had no comment. Now, this is the latest clash between Maine and the Trump administration over transgender policies. In February, as you likely recall, President Trump demanding the state follow his executive orders banning trans athletes from competing in girls' and women's sports. He threatened to withhold federal funding if the state did not comply, something he apparently can't really legally do, but it needs to be worked out in the courts. Governor Janet Mills refusing to comply at that meeting at the White House, saying that by doing so, following the executive order, they'd be breaking state and federal law, which does recognize trans students and prohibits discrimination against them. Now, the first deadline for Maine to comply, that was yesterday. There's another deadline tomorrow. We'll continue to follow it.